Hello and welcome to the third video on alarm. Here we're going to construct an example paragraph on the popular film Shrek. I tried to pick something that everyone has seen, something that's not intimidating, uh, but also something that has more to it than you might think. Our question here in purple: evaluate the literary value of Shrek 2001. I said in the last video that ambiguity in questions like this is awesome because it means you have the freedom to assign value to whatever you want. Here, I'm going to say a successful, uh, I'm going to say something has literary value, something is successful if it subverts a genre, which Shrek has in abundance. So, uh, the film Shrek has great. Now, you'll have to excuse two things. You'll have to excuse my handwriting, and you'll have to excuse the pauses as I'm writing these these example sentences because I haven't pre-written these sentences, and this is the kind of thing that you could almost expect to write yourself at this kind of pace. So this really isn't a rushed video. I'm expecting this will take around about 10 minutes to follow through the whole way. The film Shrek has great literary value because it subverts the fairy tale genre. Cool. Now, I'm going to identify a part of Shrek that subverts the fairy tale genre. So I'm going to go for one of the obvious ones that it subverts traditional or historical gender roles. I like that. It's pretty obvious. Everything about Fiona is a subversion of fairy tale tropes. So identify. Ooh, I did write one word. I used the word disrupt, actually. I think the word disrupt would be nice. Cool. Identify the fairy tale trope of gender stereotypes is disrupted. As I said in the last video, it doesn't have to be a complex sentence, both grammatically and generally. Describe, I'm providing here a definition of gender stereotypes, or maybe even um, feminine gender stereotypes. So, the, again, simple grammatically, simple generally. The gender stereotype of women being damsels in distress is common. Um, Common both within fairy tale genre and I would just say as a gender stereotype. Cool. We're going to provide a bit more context. Where do we see this in the text? The obvious place is Fiona, character. Oop, capital O. Right, another simple sentence. The character Fiona frequently challenges this stereotype. So now I have roughly where in the text it happens. It happens every time Fiona's on screen. There are some times where she complies with the gender stereotypes. For example, when she's singing to the birds, um, but then she subverts it by hitting that high note and making the bird pop by trying to mimic her. So maybe I'll go for that. So my example is Fiona sings and makes how do I say that nicely? What she does to the bird? Uh, uh, the scene. Actually, I'm gonna go for like the most obvious one, where she fights off the bandits. Now that I think about it, because I'm talking about damsels in distress, I'm just gonna go for the simple one. Keep it simple, stupid. The best concept kiss. The scene where Fiona fights bandits, the merry men, uses quick cuts off the top of my head. Four. The scene where Fiona fights off the bandits uses quick cuts to show her ability to fight. Now, I've drawing attention to analyze here. This is only a kind of light or general analysis of the technique quick cuts. It's showing her ability to fight. We go deeper into that by how the audience responds to seeing her fight. Um, there, I dare say, would be some feeling of being impressed, or I don't think anyone feels intimidated by Fiona's empowerment in this scene. So I would say, um, in response, oh, in response, the audience feels awe and respect for Fiona's independence. A lovely thing when we're talking about gender stereotypes and disrupting historical gender roles. Finally, we're returning back to our evaluation. The film Shrek has great literary value because it subverts the fairy tale genre. And here is all of our bulk where we really argued or proved that idea. I think this paragraph really has successfully proven that Shrek does have literary value because it subverts the fairy tale genre. So I'm just going to return back to that idea. Um, therefore, through subverting the genre, cool. Therefore, through subverting the fairy tale genre, Shrek is a literary text.